Okay, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. I'm getting ready to run my final data report, and this is actually my attempt at predicting the number of sunspots or the number of cases and deaths the U.S. is going to have between now and December 1st, and between now and January 1st, and between now and January 31st. This report comes out of two articles. Okay, this is an article on NPR for the date of August 6th. August 6th. 300,000 deaths by December 1st. That's okay. Okay. By December 1st, the United States death toll from COVID-19 could reach nearly 300,000. That's the grim new projection from researchers at the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, one of the more prominent modeling teams modeling the COVID-19. Okay, I guess that's reasonable. I mean, we could certainly have 300,000 by by 400 by this January by December 1st. Well, this is interesting. Here's a model. It says the model predicts 410,000 U.S. deaths by January 1st or 31st. I'm not real sure, but it's worth mentioning that I think it's January 29th will be the 1-year anniversary of the COVID-19's first reported death case. Okay, that's fine. Let's take a look at this here also. Okay, this report comes almost a month to the day later than the NPR report, but that's okay. 410,000 deaths predicted by January. Okay, that's reasonable. I mean, it's not reasonable, but okay, here we go. Some significant developments. Wait a second. The Institute for Mental Health and Evaluation at the University of Washington School of Medicine, wait a second, is predicting 410,000 deaths by January if mass usage stay at the current level. If governments continue relaxing social distancing guidelines, the number will increase. Now, wait a second. They just said 300,000 by December 1st. That's a report. That's a prediction on NPR back in August 6th, is it? And now on September 4th, the same organization is saying 410,000. So does that mean we're going to have 100,000 deaths in December, or 100,000 deaths between December 1st and January 31st? Well, you know, there's of course an old saying. It comes from a gentleman named George Box, who was a leading statistician back in England during the 20th century. He says all models are wrong, but some are useful. Well, so the question is, how wrong can it be and still be useful? How can we have the same organization with two completely different models? How do we know which one of those is useful? Okay, but anyway, here we go. First of all, let's come back over here. We need to get two dates. Between two dates. So the first one is today's date, and this is going to be December 1st. And that's 431 days. Is that right? No, not this. There. That's a little better. So, in order for us to get that 300,000 by December 1st, we have 66 days left to go. 66 days. Now let's try 0, 1. Well, that magic number's 97 days. Okay. What about January 31st? Okay. Let's come down here and correct some of these things here. By December 1st, that's 66 days. By January 1st, that's 97 days. And by January 31st, it's 127. Okay. So basically all I'm doing is I'm calculating the average number of deaths. Okay. Just come back up here and run this from the top, as we like to say. Okay, so here's the cumulative total for today. The cumulative total in cases is 6.9 million, almost 7 million deaths or cases so far. Okay. And deaths are 201,884 deaths per day. And of course, because this is a cumulative total, it has really no place to go but up. Okay, so come down here. Plot the daily cases and deaths, source European Center for Disease Prevention and Control. So, the current average deaths, this is from February 29th onward, is 966 deaths. Okay? So, we're going to subtract the total deaths. Okay? Total deaths. Divided from the target. The target's 300,000 by December 1st. Subtract the total number of deaths and divide by the remaining days. And this should tell us the average number of cases we have to have. Okay. So in order for us to reach 300,000 by December 1st, we have to average 1,480 deaths per day. We are currently averaging 965, 966. Now, in order to reach 410,000 deaths by January 1st, once again, same process, by the remaining days, we have to average 2,126 deaths per day. Okay. Now, in order to reach 410,000 by January 31st, we have to have 1,623 deaths per day. That's sort of interesting, isn't it? So let's come back up here. Current average is 966. So our average actually fell from last week. So the average for December 1st $1,480. In order to reach 410,000 by January 1st, we have to have 2,126 deaths per day. Notice that the average is going up. And that's because we're running out of time. Okay? In order to reach it by January 31st, we still have to average 1,623. Right? Okay. So we'll come back to this chart in a moment. Let's come back down here first of all. And once again, you can see the pattern. Let's zoom in here a little bit. So you can see there is a bit of a trend upward now. 5,501 cases per the last date for September 26th. There is a bit of a trend back up there. Let's take a look at let's run this one down here. This is the key one down here. Okay. Black is the current daily average, which is let's run this again. And this is the plot we'll look at. This is where I try to predict, model the trend. Now here's the thing. The current average from February 28th, which was the first reported death in the U.S., up until September 26th is, 966. In order to reach 300,000 by December 1st, we have to average 1,480. So you're already seeing a discrepancy there. That's the blue line. Even with this upward trend here, we're still only at the average. Okay? And for January 1st, which is the green line, we have to average 2,126. And that's up here. Okay. In order to reach the number of January 31st, we have to average 1,623. So what you see in here, our daily average is below all of the daily averages, the average number of deaths we have per day, in order to reach either 300,000 by December 1st, 410,000 by January 1st, or 410,000 by January 21st. Even with this, again, notice this spike. The spike is below the average almost, or even with the average. Now, now there's a 51% chance that this model is basically worthless. But to me, using a simple daily average certainly is a valid modeling method. You have to average so many deaths per day in order to reach a certain goal. Whether that goal is 300,000 or 410,000, it doesn't make any difference. You still have to average a certain number of deaths per day in order to reach either one of those two goals, the 300,000 by December 1st, or the 410,000 by January 1st or January 31st. And this is where I think the media is deliberately underreporting. They're deliberately underreporting the fact that either that or they're clinging to the coattails of organizations like University of Washington. Now, I'm not questioning their knowledge or I'm sure their models are very good, but sometimes I think, sometimes my model is based on the K.I.S.S principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? A daily average is a pretty simple way of looking at data. Moving averages are used all the time in the stock market analysis. So why can't we use the same moving image concept for COVID-19 cases and deaths? Anyway, that's enough of my soapbox for today. Let me put that away. But here's the point I got for you, my fellow Americans. Here's my message for you today. Keep up the good work, okay? We are winning the battle as far as COVID-19 deaths. Keep wearing a mask. Keep practice social distancing. Practice, self-imposed isolation when you can. But keep at it. We will defeat this pandemic in the U.S. Okay? I hope this has been encouraging to you, as it has been to me, to see these numbers. Now, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next report. You can also take a look at a quick histogram here. It's not much good, actually. Let's just run this final report from the top, as we like to say, and update it. Thanks so much again for stopping by. We'll catch you on the next report.